And the title of today's mini podcast is High Gear. What is the triggering mechanism that gets you into high gear? Perhaps a story will provide an answer. I used to work with the world's laziest engineer. He had what my mother called a fainting ass. That meant he never walked by a chair that he didn't fall into. Once he sat down, you knew you were about to be regaled with excuses and stories about why he didn't do what you asked him to do. Getting him up out of the chair and working on a project was a full-time job in itself. However, you got to see a whole different side of him when an emergency presented itself. His best work was done during emergencies. They launched him into high gear. Do you need an emergency to get you into a high gear? If so, you're in trouble. I can't tell you the number of people who came to my weight loss seminars with the express purpose of losing enough weight so they would be healthy enough to live through a necessary surgical procedure. That's what it took for them to get into high gear. Side note, regarding your health, remember the words of British author Rose Tremaine, who said, "Life is not a dress rehearsal." What does it take to get you into high gear? It's something worth investigating if you don't already know the answer. We all need a high gear. Many of us, through conditioning, attempt to maintain an even keel. That means we avoid highs and lows. Our life remains in the middle, which has no high gear or low gear for that matter. That's a major denial of reality where you exhibit the indifference of the safe zone. Some people never engage their high gear because it's deemed too risky. The antidote for that mindset is a quote from the hockey great Wayne Gretzky, who said, "I miss 100% of the shots I never take." Now, that's not a suggestion to shoot every time. It's more of a blueprint to rise above bland. Life is more than actuarial data. That sort of information provides a report on history and, at best, generates odds worth considering when contemplating a risk. If you always play the odds, you'll wind up breaking even. It's like the sports axiom you hear when a team ties another team. It's like kissing your sister. People who avoid high gear are avoiding risk. Next time you're on the highway, notice the signage on all the passing trucks. Each one of these businesses had a beginning, and you can bet there was risk involved. Someone got into high gear and made it happen. This is not a suggestion to drive in high gear all the time. That practice will contribute to crash and burn quicker than anything. It's more of a reminder that we're all given a high gear and a nudge to entertain the notion of using it more often, instead of only for emergencies. All the best, John.